coming to you with a unbelievable meal. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
It's going to be exciting. So what we're going to do is make 3 meals. So like 3 weeknight meals. Let's call it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or whatever weeknights you're looking at. And we're going to make it all in one fell swoop in one pan.
Nice.
And it's going to be different. It's not like you're eating just leftovers. So we're going to make it all in one pan, bake it all at once, and you can have it any 3 nights you want to. So we're looking for something lickety-split and easy, because I know for this week, this is perfect for Terry and I, because we are super busy this week. And as you can see, we are in our place in Pennsylvania. So we're doing the best we can with this video, because we told you that we were going to be back, and we want to be back. We don't want to say we're back and not be back. So we're making it happen. What we are going to do is we are going to make, I wanted to make Italian stuffed peppers or Italian stuffed cabbage. And the reason why it's a little bit different is because I wanted to have an Italian flair. So, anyway, so what I did is when I went to the store, I was looking for the sweet Italian peppers. They're a little bit longer. They have the same texture if you haven't seen them before, but they're longer. They're like from here to here. And I was going to do it that way. Terry and I went to 3 different stores, and we could not find the Italian sweet peppers. And they come in all the pretty colors. So I said, you know what, we'll just go with these. And the reason why I went with these are called Aloha peppers. And I just thought they were pretty.
Oh my God, don't they look so nice?
With the orange and the red. So absolutely. I said, well, let's just go with the regular peppers, whatever. And these are really, really pretty. So we got a couple of these. And we are going to stuff these peppers, or some people don't enjoy the peppers, or you want to have both. We're going to do the same filling for the peppers that we're going to do for the cabbage. So if you don't enjoy peppers, use cabbage. If you do, use both, or just use one or the other. You don't have to make it real difficult, but it's how I'm going to make 3 different meals out of it, if you will. And then we are going to stuff it with all kinds of veggies. I love these carrots. When you cut these carrots open, they have like orange on the inside and purple on the outside. These are gorgeous. These are organic carrots that I buy at Trader Joe's in the bag. They're cheap. I mean, $2 and something, or something like that. But they come in all these different colors, and we're going to use carrots. We're going to use onions, and we're going to use celery. So that's your basic mirepoix. And saute those together. Obviously, we're going to put garlic, but we'll put that in a little bit later.
What would a meal be without garlic?
Right, especially an Italian meal. And we're going to do that. And then on the bottom of the pan, I'm going to use just regular tomato puree. You can use any brand you like. I just picked this one up. I usually make tomato gravy with this for our spaghetti or what have you. So, but you don't have to buy this brand. Any tomato puree that you find is fine. They have the nice ones in the jar, what have you. We're just gonna line the bottom of our casserole dish with this, and I'm gonna show you all this. I'm not just gonna talk through it. And then you can either dice fresh tomatoes, or if you're in a tight confined area like I am, you could buy I just bought diced tomatoes in a can, just to make it really easy, because I'm gonna be cooking them anyway. But by all means, if you can go fresh and dice the tomatoes. And obviously Italian parsley, because we love Italian parsley. We're gonna put it in there, and we're gonna saute all these things together. And then what I did for the meat, so if you know sort of regular stuffed peppers, how you wanna have sort of a mirepoix, the carrots, the celery, the onions, and the garlic, and then add some kind of meat to that. Some people use ground pork, some people use, I don't know, ground lamb if you're gonna make something that's more a Greek style, or some people use ground beef, or
my
what
mom
have
used to
you.
use ground beef.
Ground beef, yes, absolutely. To make the stuffed cabbage. Aww.
She did.
Well,
and I have to say real quick, so I want to get a plug
yes,
in.
please
so,
do.
Growing up, and you'll see this in our book, Food, Life's Gifts for Healing, unbelievable book. And I talk about, when I was growing up as a kid, my mom had a garden, and the only thing I associated a garden with was work, just work. But never did I realize that all of these beautiful fresh vegetables that we're making meals out of.
Yes.
You know, my mom used to grow in the garden.
Absolutely.
And she was trying to teach me at a very young age, you know, vegetables are good for you, eat your vegetables. And it was filling, and I always loved the meals that she used to cook, especially when she used to make the stuffed peppers.
Yeah.
Now, she did use ground beef, however, I mean, she was trying to be healthy with
Absolutely.
all the other stuff we were growing from the garden.
Sure.
So I just wanted to say, I have such a newfound appreciation for you, babe, and for everything that you do, and for the way we live. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and it's been life transforming. So I just wanted to get that plug in. Babe.
No, I think that's beautiful. I love hearing about your mom's recipes and everything she did. And I know you felt like the yard work, and she wanted her yard to be beautiful. And Terry always talks about how he had to pull all the weeds outside of the Pachysandra and all of that. But she just always wanted her things to be nice and fresh and beautiful and vibrant. And look at the beautiful sons she made. So she did a beautiful job. But if you think about all of this stuff, we are going to make an amazing, delicious, fulfilling meal. And all of this stuff came from the ground. It was all grown. In part of this, I wanted to have sort of a risotto feel, but I cannot find the risotto rice. You know, it's kind of very small grain and what have you, if you've ever made risotto, in like a brown rice. So I still want to keep this healthy. If you want to use the sort of risotto rice in your recipe, by all means go ahead. But for us, I still like to keep it whole grain and things like that. So I won't use this jasmine rice that we love so much because it's a real long grain, but I did find a medium grain brown rice that's going to serve as our risotto piece, and we don't have to cook the rice. So this is going to be simple, simple, simple. So I'm going to put that in part of it because you know how it used to be the rice and the meat and the veggies. Some people never used the veggies. They were like, forget it. We'll just use rice and meat. But so for our, and then in the other ones where I'm not going to put rice, I'm going to show you how we're going to slice potatoes, and we're going to use potatoes for that night's meal with the just veggies inside. Here is our meat. So what is this? Honey, do you want to grab me a spoon?
Absolutely.
So I marinated this last night on a fluke and on a whim because I was thinking what could be meaty outside of things like lentils, because lentils are very meaty. But what I wanted to do is sort of keep that starch, either rice or potatoes, really balanced with those veggies. So if I go ahead and add lentils in, I may have a little bit of unbalance, or I guess I could add more veggies. But for whatever reason, I love lentils. By all means, use lentils as your meat. Another thing that would be great to use for meat would be mushrooms. I don't enjoy mushrooms, so I did not use that in this. Terry loves mushrooms, so mushrooms would be an amazing meat replacement for this. What I use, because it's Italian, right? So I used eggplant. So you could use a regular purple eggplant, or you could use an Italian eggplant. Both are sort of that meaty, sort of spongy texture, right? And what I did is, if you can see, I cut this up into little pieces to sort of mimic small pieces of meat or ground meat or something like that. I kept the skins on, and the whole time I was cutting the eggplant, I could hear my grandmother saying, Angel, the skins are bitter. But anyhow, of course, when my grandmother used to make eggplant parmesan, oh my gosh, it was unbelievable, but fried with lots of cheese, and it was amazing, let me just say. So this will not be my grandmother's eggplant parm, and it will have the skins on. And the reason why I leave the skins on everything is because the purple, deep purple skin in an eggplant or anything with color has an abundance of antioxidants, and they help fight disease and keep us healthy. So why would I take that out of here? I don't want to. And because I marinated it, tell my grandmother it's not bitter anymore. So what I did is I cut this up and then I marinated it, and I'll have the recipe for the marinade in here. But basically, a lot of chopped garlic, I think like a quarter of a cup I put in here because I wanted it to have that garlicky, meaty sort of flavor. It does.
The aromas is coming from this, it smells delicious.
It smells amazing. Garlic powder, onion powder, you know, fresh ground pepper, and I used some vegetable broth. You could use a powdered mushroom base if you wanted to, if you can find one that doesn't have like oils and things like that. If you have a powdered mushroom base that you like, that would be really good in here. I didn't have any here, so what I use as part of the marinade is some of the black truffle balsamic vinegar that we get, but you don't have to use that. You can omit it. I use some tamari, and as you can see, it soaked it all up because eggplant is very spongy. So this is going to serve as our meat, all right? And that's what we're gonna do. So now what?
Hey, what? As good as that smells, we can just eat this.
I know, it smells amazing, and I can't wait to eat. So we'll have to decide which one of these 3 meals we'll eat tonight, but at least we know we'll anticipate Tuesday and Wednesday, right?
Absolutely.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you now how we're gonna prep this and cook it.
All right.
First, we start by cutting these beautiful carrots. Like I said, we get them at Trader Joe's. Look how they are inside. Is that the coolest or what? So I try to cut them as thin as possible just because I like them to be diced. And when you dice them, it just makes it easier and everything's formed together. Look at the beautiful carrots. It's about 2.5 cups of all the different colors. Then I do the same thing with the celery that I did with the carrots, and all of this equals about 2.5 cups. I used about 6 carrots and about 10 or 12 stalks of celery to get to that 2.5 cups that I was looking for evenly. So there it is. I used the stems too because the stems are yummy. And then I went in to chop our fresh garlic. This is a whole bulb of garlic. So if you don't want, a lot of garlic, you don't have to use a whole bulb. But just smack the pieces and the skins come right off. And then just dice them up just like everything else. And oh my gosh, when you cut fresh garlic, it is so fragrant and just, oh man, you can't wait to eat. And then I had about 2.5 cups of onion as well. There's my garlic after I chopped it. I had about, 1/4 to 1/2 cup. And then I had 3 medium potatoes. These are Yukon Gold or yellow potatoes. And I sliced them about 1/4 inch thick. But slice them to the thickness you like. Again, these are raw. They're not cooked. And then I just lay them out on the cutting board because we're going to put them in the pan raw. And so when you lay them on the cutting board, just season them. I like to put garlic powder on there. I put some, and to taste, whatever you like. I put some onion powder, as you can see. Hey, if you have a restaurant store near you, that's where I buy those big containers, and they're dirt cheap. So hands up to the restaurant store. And then some of this Italian seasoning. Any kind of Italian seasonings, I buy that one at Whole Foods, but it doesn't matter. Whatever kind of Italian seasonings you like, and then just sprinkle to taste. And then I just set this aside and move to the next step. Here's my Italian parsley. I cut it and just really a rough chop. If you don't like the stems, you can pull the leaves off, but I just chop it all together. And I wanted to get about a heaping 1/2 cup, and that's really what that is right there. Again, just a rough chop. And then what I do is I put it in a colander, and then I rinse it. And this way I know that I'm rinsing it really well, and we're good to go. So now I move it over to the sink and rinse. Now we moved on to the peppers. I'm just cutting these peppers in half. I'm not removing the green stem because I think it's pretty. And then I'm just taking the centers out, and then I'm rinsing them just to make sure. I washed them first, but then I rinse after I take the seeds out just to make sure that everything's nice and clean and taken out. They're so pretty. See how pretty they are? So I'll have 6 of those. Now we'll start to saute. There's all of our carrots, which are really, really pretty. Oh my gosh, I love the colors. So put the carrots in, and then the onions. And as you can see, the bowls are all about the same height. So again, it was about 2.5 cups. That was 2 large sweet onions, which is in the recipe. And then there's all of our celery. So I know that seems like a lot, but trust me on this. I started in this pan, and then as you'll see, as I move forward, I had to transition, but that's okay. I wanted to get all my vegetables incorporated really nicely because these veggies have to saute for some time, especially the carrots, because they're a little bit, harder than the other veggies. But I like doing them together because they sweat down, and as they sweat, they create liquid. And that liquid is perfect because I use that for sauteing, so you don't have to add water. I add granulated garlic. I'm going to say about a teaspoon and a half of granulated garlic. The same for the granulated salt. So that was granulated onion powder. This is garlic powder. And then again, for the Italian herbs, for this I use about a teaspoon. And then we're keeping everything with that Italian sort of flavor and zest, and it's really beautiful. And again, you don't have to really add any water to this to saute because the veggies are making their own water. And then some beautiful black pepper because Terry loves it. Our son and daughter bought us that pepper grinder, and we love it. So here's where I transitioned. As you can see, all the liquid is out. So this is perfect. The veggies are soft, they're incorporated really well. And so now I'm gonna add my diced tomatoes. If you don't wanna use the diced tomatoes in a can, just chop fresh tomatoes. They're just as good and just as delicious. But this, with the juice, it really helped because there's some juice in the can. You don't have to drain it. And then there is the eggplant that I marinated overnight. So that's our mock meat, but it's better because it's eggplant and there's a lot of juice in there, really a lot. So now it's hard to see, but the pot has a lot of juice in it, all the way up to the top of the veggies. I'm gonna let that cook down and simmer into all the veggies. Now you see how the liquid just got into all the veggies and how beautiful that is? Let me tell you how delicious this is. Now I'm gonna add my garlic so the garlic stays fresh and sweet and it doesn't burn. So that's why I add the garlic almost last, and I like to saute the garlic for a minute or 2 minutes. And this is a lot, so maybe 2 minutes, but you get my point. Don't saute it too long. For this, I'm gonna add some of my tomato, basil, balsamic, and I used about 1/4 cup. If you have any kind of red wine that you have left over or something like that, by all means, use that instead, or if you want some other kind of balsamic, and if you don't have anything, use veggie broth and let it cook down. Once it cooks down, add your fresh parsley and then shut your heat off because that will give you such a wonderful, pungent parsley flavor, and it's absolutely delicious. So as you saw, I shut my heat off. I'm just incorporating it all together, and boom, we're done.
All right, we are back.
And everything is cooked up. That was so much fun, and the kitchen smells amazing.
The aroma is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. So you saw all the juice that we had in the meat, and it just cooked down into the veggies and made them nice and tender and delicious. And so this is smelling so good.
Look at those clumps of garlic.
Yes, you saw in the end when I put the garlic and the parsley and I put the tomato, basil, balsamic. At that step, you could use, if you have an open wine that you like, I think a red wine would hold up to this most because we're looking for that sort of that beef flavor. But I didn't have any wine, and so I used the balsamic vinegar. If you have a certain balsamic vinegar that you think would be really nice and robust in this, go ahead. But like I said, you can use red wine or something, something like that, or any kind of wine that you like. Cook it down, and it just brings all the flavors together. Terry and I did taste this.
Amazing.
Delicious. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna assemble it. This is not pretty, but it is seasoned. So any kind of casserole that you want to use. And what I'm gonna do is, you saw me slice and season the potatoes. These are uncooked. I'm just gonna put these in the bottom of my casserole, because the night that we eat the either stuffed pepper or stuffed cabbage without rice, we're gonna enjoy the potatoes, honey. Potatoes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we're gonna enjoy the potatoes instead. If you don't wanna have any starch at all, then don't eat a starch. But I think these will be delicious because they'll be in the, just the tomato puree.
It gives you that balanced meal.
And they're gonna cook. This is gonna cook in a 425 degree preheated oven, covered, for 40 to 45 minutes. You know your oven better than I do. So 40 to 45 minutes will do it. And then you could take the cover off and then let it cook for another 10 to 15 minutes. So 40 to 45 covered, 10 to 15 minutes off, just to get it nice and bubbly. And the reason why we're gonna cover it is because we're gonna let the tomato puree, we're gonna let that cook the rice. So we don't have to cook our rice separately.
Okay.
So we're gonna make the ones without the rice first, because we have all of our filling here, and we'll just split it up evenly, okay? And so you can take, a lot of times for stuffed cabbage, the nice round cabbage is really nice for that. You can steam the leaves you can either wrap the leaves in a wet paper towel and you can microwave it for like 2 minutes. And it gets nice and wilted, or you can put them in a steamer basket and steam them for like 2 minutes. Okay. It's really simple. You don't have to do it. I know somebody that used to make a lot of stuffed cabbage, and she did not cook the cabbage. So if you have the round cabbage, it's easier to do it with that,
easier to fold.
Yes, because the stem is smaller. It breaks a little bit, but who cares? And then when she folded it, you just put the folded side down. But since I'm using Napa cabbage, and in the Napa cabbage, the stem is so large, I did need to get this softer so that I could roll it like that.
That's perfect, babe.
So, thank you. So what I'm gonna do is take some of the filling, and we have so much filling here, so I'm gonna try to use half of this filling for no rice and the other half with rice. And we'll do, whoops. I don't want to cheat us. I'm not going to cheat us, because this is all veggies, okay?
Wow.
Delicious. It's hard to believe that this is all veggies, because it's absolutely
magnificent. That is
100%.
going to be delicious.
And I'm going to lay that cabbage in there like that. Then we'll do one more cabbage without rice. So we're going to do 50-50. And then when we're eating, like I said, Terry and I will definitely and gladly enjoy the potatoes.
Right. Absolutely.
But this could be the if you don't want any starch, this is like all basically non-starchy veggies.
Absolutely.
So, and then we'll do 3 halves of these beautiful peppers, which are gorgeous. I love
wish
these.
you guys could smell this. Oh my goodness, it smells so delicious.
And we'll put the peppers over here.
So delicious.
And once you dice all the veggies and get to the cooking part, it's really just downhill from there. This is actually pretty easy. It's just getting the veggies diced. But you know what? You know that you're eating such a beautiful,
healthy, delicious meal.
So
balanced.
Worth it. Yes, it's so worth it.
And to your point, it's just assembly from this point on. It's just assembly. Done all the chopping and
everything, and then we get to eat. We get to eat for 3 days, people. So I used about half of my filling. What I'm gonna do, again, I said I wanted this to be an Italian flair. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and use this shorter grain brown rice, but use any kind of rice that you like. If you like white, if you really want to go for that orzo sort of feel, use the orzo rice. just, do you when you do this stuff. But again, I love this because we don't have to cook our rice.
That's amazing.
Because the
tomato's gonna cook the rice. That's
the
amazing.
Steam and the tomato, I love it.
That's amazing.
So what I used for this, I used a half a cup in this much batter. So a half a cup for 2 stuffed cabbage and 1.5 peppers. So I think that's plenty because a half a cup of rice cooked is a lot of rice.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go ahead and fill our rice cabbages and put them in here so beautifully, or maybe not so beautifully. This isn't where I'm elegant, people. I am just not elegant in this area.
Hey, this is a live cooking show.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not, and you know what?
The food is
Whatever.
amazing.
The food tastes good, so that's what matters, right?
Exactly.
One thing I want to talk about really quickly while I'm doing this is I want to sincerely thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. I asked you all a couple of weeks ago if you would complete a survey.
Mm-hmm.
And we would donate $1 for every survey out to St. Jude's. And the outpouring from my whole food plant-based family just touched my heart. I mean, you guys just touched my heart so much. I'm so appreciative of your just
Support.
giving and support of
And the words, the messages, and
Oh
the
my
words
gosh.
were just so
your email.
kind
Yeah.
and so heartfelt.
I could
It was
just-
incredible.
It was just from the heart. I
right
mean,
from the heart.
I
It's
told
just
Terry some of the messages that you had sent, and they were just beautiful in your survey. So what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks is I've really had my nose down doing a lot of data and analytics, and because of you and your support, I was able to turn in my whole dissertation. So it's not completed. I'm waiting on feedback from my dissertation chair, but to be at this part of this journey that I've been on for the past 2.5 years is just incredible. And I really have, I mean, honestly, I have mostly Terry to thank. He's been with me
Aww.
for my whole education. He's been my sole support through it all, and it's just been amazing. He understands the ups and downs, and so he's just an incredible partner, friend, and everything else. But the outpouring from all of you in helping with the surveys has been amazing. We got just under 100 responses, which is incredible. And Terry and I are going to donate like 3 times that to St. Jude's, and we're going to give $300 to St. Jude's, and really in a dedication to all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
I'm just humbled. I'm humbled and appreciative. And I just have a little tiny bit left over. I can
Just put it on top. Yeah.
I can.
Let's
Well,
top them
I
off.
want to keep the rice ones. Whoops. Outside of.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we have 3 and 3.
Yeah.
So
So whatever.
that's
Little
good.
tiny bit. And so what I'm gonna do now, you know what I could do, honey? I could put it on the side of this rice one where I don't like to waste, you guys.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna put it on the side of this rice cabbage that I got kind of chintzy. It seemed a little bit chintzy. So how's that?
That's perfect. Well, honey, that was so awesome for you to just thank and acknowledge our supporters and our, the ones who just really stood behind us and kind of helped us get this over the finish line. So it's been really amazing and incredible. So we just thank you all.
And my
from the
kids,
bottom of
I
our
gotta
hearts.
tell you,
So
my kids have been incredible in supporting me and asking me, Mom, how you doing? And just being proud of me and stuff. That means a lot coming from my children. So they've been really nice, just sort of there on the sidelines saying, I don't know how you do it, Mom, but we're proud of you. So I don't know how they do what they do either. So they're amazing children, aren't they, honey?
they are. They absolutely
So
are.
now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover this, and we are gonna bake it, like I said, in a preheated 425-degree oven, 40 to 45 minutes. I mean, who's counting? Do what you want, depending on your oven. And uncovered, 10 to 15 minutes. Then we are gonna take this baby out of the oven, and Terry and I are going to taste. So we will be back.
fun part.
I know, the very fun part. And look, we're done. We don't have to cook for 3 days. We have 3 different meals in here, all gonna cook. All we have to do is do warm up.
That's it.
So it's
That's it.
gonna be fun. All right, and then we'll have a big salad on the side of this. We don't care, we can never get enough salad. So let us pop this in the oven and we'll see you guys in 1 hour.
Alrighty, we are done.
And everything cooked beautifully. The house is smelling so fragrant
Gosh,
and
it smells
delicious.
so good.
And the good news is while they cooked, we were able to make big, beautiful salad. We make a couple of these salads. We have 2 of these bowls. We make a couple of them, and then we put them in the fridge, and then we eat out of them.
Yeah, they
And
last
they last like
2-3 days. Yeah.
2 salads will last us like 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
like Terry said. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful. And then we just remake them. So we only have to do this a few times a week. It's no big deal. So we were able to get that done. Today is actually Sunday. You see all this, there's only 2 of us. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and really we can really make these meals so delicious and versatile. So what we could do, honey, is try maybe, you want to try like the plain one?
Yeah, let's try a plain one.
Well, not plain.
But
let me
without the rice.
yeah, I'm sorry. I said plain, but one without the rice. Look at that baby steaming. So we cooked ours for 45 minutes and then covered, and then 15 minutes uncovered. So that's how long we cooked ours. And then we let it sit for like 20 minutes so that we could handle it and make sure it's cool enough. What I forgot to do, because I was so busy talking, is I forgot to put like parchment paper over the top, or saran, whatever you like to use, and then the foil, because that helps to keep the moisture in and cook the rice, although the rice is twice as big as it was when it was in there, so I'm sure we don't have a problem, but just that's kind of like what my little tip. I didn't do it, and obviously everything turned out just fine. I'm gonna get one with the rice, honey, the cabbage. Okay, so I have 1 cabbage and 1, and then with yours, or I'm gonna add a couple of these gorgeous potatoes.
Ooh, yummy.
Sorry, not very eloquent,
It's okay.
but I want to add a couple. Wow, these potatoes are so nice.
They look yummy.
And then thank you, sweetie. And then what we're gonna do is fill the other half of our plate up with salad, which is fine, but let's dig in. You want to try the rice one first?
Yes, try the rice.
Okay, and
That's
we have
awesome.
some cabbage, and the cabbage cooked really
Wow, that
nicely.
cuts so nice.
Yeah, you can see that. I don't even need a knife.
A knife, anything, yeah.
Just trying to be. It's not really pretty eating on the camera, but well, here, let's do this. I should have got a knife. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Just that there.
Mmm. It smells so good. I cannot wait to taste this.
Me either. All right.
You got some of the stuffing, honey?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Oh well. Salud,
Salud.
honey. Thank you for help.
Mmm.
Mmm.
So good, so crunchy.
Very.
And the cabbage cooked perfectly.
Mmm. Really, it's not overdone.
Mm-mm.
It's so, that has such a robust flavor, like a dinner.
And it's savory.
And
Savory
it's
robust.
super savory.
Mm.
The rice is cooked.
Wow. A little sweet, savory. Wow. Winner.
Mmm. Delicious.
I'm gonna dig into a potato here.
I'm really impressed with that.
Mmm. Wow, so soft.
They have the tomato flavor.
Soft and tomato flavor, wow.
That's gorgeous.
Should I get a knife for this?
Well, let's see. Maybe get a knife so we're not so messy. This, I want to keep eating this. It's so good.
Alright, so we're
Cut
gonna,
this little piece. So
cut this little piece, so
this time we use a knife.
we'll cut this.
The flavors.
And then we can just kind of take some of this off the top and just right there.
Yeah, I gotta take the green part off, honey. I was keeping the green parts off
Oh,
because it was pretty. Here, I'll cut it with my.
Okay.
I can actually cut it with my.
Alright, good. Alright.
You can tell Terry and I were not made for the camera, but we have fun with it, right, honey? Whoa.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I got a big honk.
Oops.
Salud,
Salud.
honey.
Mmm. Wow. Wow.
What is that? It's just robust, like almost like it really has meat in it.
It does.
And
It does taste like that.
it's funny because it does not taste like vegetables.
It is not. And the pepper cooked perfect.
What would you say?
Cooked
What would you
perfect.
say it tastes like? Because it doesn't. I don't. Is this a fork full of vegetables? I don't know.
It's just savory. It has a sweet, robust, crunchy taste.
I wonder where that little bit of sweetness is coming from. Maybe from the carrots or something. But it doesn't
probably.
taste like vegetables. It tastes.
No.
It's such a hearty meal.
So hearty.
So it's delicious. Oh my gosh, I'm really impressed.
So I
love
can finish
it.
this whole dish on this
Yeah,
show.
we are gonna finish these dishes, and like I said, there's 3 meals in here. We can make them as versatile as we want to. If you want to have them one night without a salad and a different steamed veggie or whatever, you can really make this totally your way and anything different. The cabbage is delicious. The pepper is delicious.
Winner. I can't wait to hear you guys, your recipes and what you did. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Oh,
Yeah, you could even layer this with, like, I'm starting to think like lasagna. I don't know. Anyway, so this is delicious. Thank you guys
like
so
us,
much for being with us.
subscribe.
Don't
Hope you
forget
like
to
it.
subscribe. Yes,
All right,
thank you
guys.
so much. Take care.
Take care.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.